cool cooking.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today. 1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today. Donate.
Pop the mile, I'm swing. Woo! 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 Pop the mile, I'm swing. Woo!
Bird, the bird, the bird, 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 the bird, bird, the bird, the bird, 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 the bird machine. Check.
Gold all in my chain. Gold all in my ring. Gold all in my watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Nigga, don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Nigga, don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Gold all in my chain. Gold all in my ring. Gold all in my watch. Don't believe me, just watch. This ain't for no fuck, nigga. You a real nigga, then fuck with it. This one for the hood, nigga. Hips of bitches that shop at Lennox. Dark skin.
What up? Welcome to the show. It's Audibly Fat in this bitch. You know, welcome back, everybody. We're chilling, getting our party on. Found a cool 1877 Cars for Kids remix. Thought I'd share with everybody. I gotta lay mine down. I was trying to find the instrumental because I was just gonna sing my running joke that I pretty much just tell myself because people just go ugh. People just kind of go ugh when I say it, but yeah, I just think it'd be funny if the Jewish charity that is Cars for Kids was actually an IDF front or a Mossad front to fund the apartheid in Palestine. And so I just think it'd be funny to change it to 1877 Gaza Strip. This shit'll never not make me laugh, dude. The thought of it, just thought of little kids singing that. Like if it was like found to be, because it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. I'm sure it's a completely innocuous and chill charity, and I don't want to get sued for defamation. No one would ever hear it, but I just think it'd be funny. Oh man! So I found a cool remix and looking for the instrumental that you can't find. I got to figure out a way to just isolate the vocals and make my own. But yeah, so I found a trap remix to that, and then yeah. So how are you doing? How are you reacting to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the face? It's all anyone could talk about. You know what? That's gonna be, in order to get clicks. You know what? That's gonna be the thumbnail, and that's gonna be the title of the video. The real reason Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and the real is going to be capitalized. And I'm going to see if I can get some more clicks. And if you're listening to this because I named it that, and there's a thumbnail of Chris getting slapped or whatever, the real reason is because Will Smith's a cuck. Like, plain and simple. He had to go. If it was real, if it wasn't staged, if everyone's saying it was authentic and real, I mean, the amount of reactions, it fucking better be. The amount of ink that's been spilled and tweets have been tweeted and people are talking about it at work. Like, it was like legitimate news. So it better have been real. But if it was, I mean, I think it's pretty much been beaten into the ground. Every point's been made on it. But yeah, I mean, Chris Rock was a little dude. Jada cheats on him. Like, he has an inferiority complex, just like everybody who's an actor who's a severe narcissist like that and continues to want to be the spotlight. I mean, same thing with Tom Brady, all these people. Like, you don't get, there's like some sort of maniacal, egotistical narcissism. It's like, that's the only way you get to that level. But yeah, I mean, he's insecure as shit deep down, and he got cucked on TV, and he felt like, he felt like he had to do what he had to do to stand up for himself or whatever. But yeah, he's a cuckold. That's what they do. He picked on somebody who couldn't fight back. And the only reason I don't think it's real is because no security flinched. There were no gasps, or I guess there were. You couldn't hear them. But there was no, like, I don't know. You think someone would be like, whoa, what the fuck? Or Chris Rock would be like, man, what the fuck? Or they'd cut away. Like, I expected like the TV going to break music. Like, I don't know. I'm going to find a drop for that, and so I could just hit this button. I don't know if it'll ever come up in conversation again, but here we're gonna look for it together. But that's what I would think it would be, is like some sort of do, like the Eric Andre show. Like, we'll be right back. Let me see. We'll be right back. Oh, good Lord. 1 second. Tippity taps will be. Alright, I'm using my keyboard off my leg right now. In a very weird. I just wanted to, like, the do. Okay, I mean, it is old time TV music. Here we go. Oh, wait, I got this. Whoops. Come on, go ahead and pause there, buddy. You think you'd hear this? No, like right when he walks up, and there's like, it would pause right before the slap, and it would just be like the symbol of like, isn't the Oscar like the golden statue or the Golden Globes, I mean, is there a difference? It's just like, it would show the statue, and it would just be like, we'll be right back. That's just what you would hear. But they let it play out, and allegedly it was real. And I mean, they let it play because that is good TV. It got everyone talking about it. It was a win-win. I mean, I get why they didn't cut away, but back in the day, the TV I'm used to, they would have definitely cut away. They cut away when the bassist or the drummer, might have been the bassist, the guy with the tattooed just the sleeves on his arm, from Rage Against the Machine. Remember when they climbed the scaffolding at one of the MTV Awards shows, and I remember when Owen Hart died. Like, they cut that away. I never got to see that. I was watching King of the Ring at my grandparents' house. I'll never forget it. My godfather had a black box, so we were able to steal it. And I thought something happened, and they came back, and Jim Rouse was, ladies and gentlemen, we had a tragedy here. I'm sure I could find the actual footage, or the broadcast. Owen Hart death broadcast. Should I type that? Should that be the next one? Oh man. Yeah, they cut away when shit happens. And things are filmed on a delay, but I get why they played that out. They let that play out. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, Will Smith, a hoe for that shit. That was some bullshit. That was definitely. Who gives a fuck? I mean, who gives a shit? But that's how I'm gonna get clicks. But welcome to the show. It has nothing to do with Will Smith or Chris Rock or anything. I don't care. I'll cut this part out. Maybe I'll cut this part out. But that is going to be the title. What do I want to talk about today? I wanted to talk about people that have fucking staring problems. What the hell is that all about? People that just stare at you. You ever just going to work and you're doing your thing? If you're a carpenter, you're looking at the wood, you're picking out which board you got to do, or you're measuring something up and you're trying to get your pencil right. And imagine someone just staring at you, just standing still and staring at you. Like, I just really don't. I hate that shit. I can't stand it. Like, it just makes me think of the song. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not a mirror. Staring at. I'm not a mirror. What you staring at? I'm not a mirror. What you staring at, son? What you staring at? Yeah, we
What you
gotta
staring
learn,
at?
son. What you staring at?
do you remember that show? When 3 6 Mafia had their own show on MTV. What was it? It was like Adventures in Hollywood. Or Hollywood or Hollywood. Oh man, that was my favorite. That was the best thing MTV ever produced. Jackass can suck it. Better than Jackass, better than Robin Big, better than Real World, Road Rules. I was more of a. There's two types of people in this world. Are you Road Rules guy or you Real World guy? I like the Real World more. Road Rules is gay. I didn't like the challenges, dude. Like, and they were never like going anywhere dope or showing anywhere cool. It was just like them in a bus doing challenges. Like, I just didn't like that shit. Not into it. My wife's friend's on that show. She's on MTV all the time now. I follow her on Instagrams. MTV Amanda, that's her name. She's on one of those, the ones that TJ Lavin is the host. We've watched a couple episodes just because she's on there. I watched it with my wife when the new season premiered. And TJ Lavin, I remember I had his shoes growing up. Oh fuck! What is the name of the show she's on? I don't know, like The Amazing Race or the Gauntlet. I don't know, some sort of. It's just these crazy challenges and like, yeah, just road rulesy type shit. Good for her making that Skrilla. But yeah, they're friends from high school. They know each other a long time. What were we talking about? Dude, Adventures in Hollywood, the 3 6 Mafia. People fucking staring, man. I really don't. That's what I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about. I tried to list. Where is it at? I'm gonna go through my notes here. I tried to list all the jobs I've had. I think I'm at 44 or 40, something like that. I know I'm missing some, but I think I can't think of any more. Maybe I was gonna go through that. And maybe going through it, I'll think of more. Who knows? But yeah, people staring. I don't understand. I'm in business to business sales, and I go, business to business all the time. And man, I really don't. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's a Bay Area thing, if it's a West Coast thing, if it's a California thing. I don't know if it's how I was raised, but you just don't stare at people. And I don't like when people stare at me, man. Like, I just don't. They just stop and they stare. Like, I'm talking like slack-jawed, like stop and stare. Like, you know anybody who's a mechanic? Are you a mechanic? If you're listening to this and you're a mechanic, don't take offense to what I'm going to say right now. I'm just kidding. Take it all in good fun. My best friend's dad was a mechanic. I don't hate every mechanic, but I hate most mechanics. Like, as far as like, I don't know, like if I had to pick, like I'm gonna eat the rich guy. I'm gonna side with the proletariat, the serf, the common folk every day of the week. I understand we're pieces of shit. We're plebes. I understand there's a reason we're not in power. I understand we're broken. I get it. But I still will side with the underdog and the poor people every day. It's just who I am. It's burned into who I am. But as far as like a fellow blue collar guy, fellow serf, like if there's one demographic of people that I feel is completely a waste of society and not necessary whatsoever, because their industry is not necessary whatsoever at its root, is auto mechanics. I don't think cars are. Trust me, don't get me started on highway infrastructure and what they did to this country, what the car industry did to this country, what oil and the automakers did to this country and the world, really. A fundamental disagreement with vehicles themselves, but mechanics, let me get to my point. Mechanics are the fucking dumbest pieces of shit in the fucking world, man. They're always slack-jawed. They're always fucking stupid. They're always fucking rude. They always have a fucking attitude. They're always bitchy. They're lazy. They're slobs. Like, I've never, ever, like, pound for pound, person for person, like, if you took 10 mechanics from from America, random parts of the country, pick 10 random mechanics at whatever level you want, high end, low end, small town, big city, exotic, domestic, oil change, mom and pop, corporate. Pick whatever hodgepodge of these people you want. They're all fucking, like, they're all going to be the same dude. Mouth agape, slack-jawed permanently. They have a staring problem, a bad attitude. They move slow. They don't say hi. They don't respond to niceties, to greetings. You know what I mean? Like, they're just the most miserable fucking people you've ever met in your fucking life. And they all, 100% of them, have fucking staring problem. And I don't fucking get it. These people are fucking like, man, I think I've said it before. I'll say it again. Like, horse girls and car guys. Like, ugh. Steer fucking clear. If there's one piece of advice you ever take from this show, it's avoid a bitch really into horses and avoid a fucking dude really into cars. Like, ugh. The worst. I can't stand these fucking people, man. They're just bitchy, entitled. They talk shit. They're rude as fuck. They're not polite whatsoever. Like, I've had them throw things at me, poke me in the chest. You know what I mean? And I'm fucking 6'2", 320 pounds. Like, and these guys don't give a fuck because they know I'm at work. I trust me. I'm not interacting with mechanics in my street clothes. It wouldn't happen that way. These people treat you this way when you work. When you're essentially, you work in the service industry, because that's all the United States is. That's all the jobs are now. You just work in this. If you work in the service industry in one way or another, so we're all just kind of like shitting on each other when we're in our uniforms or when we're at work. But then we go back out in the streets. We're all normal people. You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, I can't talk to that guy. He'd smash me, or I shouldn't speak to my crazy ass neighbor and get loud with him because he might pull his AR-15 and gun me down in the street, like that video from last year, 2 years ago. Like, real life, this shit ain't happening. But when we're all service industry people, when we're all in the service industry, we're shitting on each other, and I don't fucking get it. And it's driving me to a point of now I'm making up my mind and hating an entire demographic, and it's a major demographic. It's like hating cooks. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like 1% of the country, bam, you hate them. You know what I mean? Like, at least. So I just don't get it. We're all miserable. We all made poor choices, and we all have a dumb job. Like, that's what I don't get. I'm sorry, your fingernails are dirtier than ours. Put a glove on, bitch. Like, I don't know what to tell you. No one told you to get under the hood. Like, the fuck? My dad used to do meth and take apart his motorcycle and tinker in his van. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. You know what I mean? Like, I learned how to change a tire and a battery. That's about it, dude. I'll break the fucking thing. I don't do well with inanimate objects. I don't do well with mechanical shit, tools, construction. I don't like that shit. I've taken an IKEA table that I stripped because you're trying to put the screw in, and it's such a piece of shit that it just strips and just spins and spins and spins. I threw it out my fucking third-story window or balcony. Like, I didn't, because fuck it. Like, I have patience with human beings. You know what I mean? But it took me years to make up my mind and be like, all right, I just hate all of you. But inanimate objects, I don't have it in me. So I commend you for that. But don't be a piece of shit because you have a skill I don't have. You don't know how to cook for yourself. You don't know how to cook anything that's not in a microwave. You don't know what food is. You literally don't know what food is. If you took out the center of the grocery store, you'd starve. You don't know how to cook vegetables and meat and flour and bring things together. You don't know that. So this is a skill I have that you don't. Like, You don't know how to butcher an animal. I do. It'd be like hunters. Most hunters don't know how to dress their animal. I don't know how to hunt, but I could teach you how to butcher that thing, like cleanly. I could teach you how to work a knife. Like, we all have something that other people don't have. So I don't understand the attitude. Is my point. I don't understand the fucking attitude, dude. Mechanics, you fucking suck. What you do isn't special. It's some basic bitch shit. It's just like me saying that cooking's a skill. It's a skill that every human possesses, but most Americans don't, because you're coddled. And like I said, you can go to a drive-through, microwave. Next thing you know, you're 35 years old and you don't know how to cook anything. That happens. Most people I know don't know how to cook anything. That's why they buy a Traeger. It's idiot proof. It's a convection oven that's electronically timed. You can't burn anything? Like, literally, it's a convection oven, so it has a fan in it. It circulates the air. And you just put the pellets in. Like, they're literally idiot proof. That's why everyone who cooks with a Traeger is like, man, this meat fire, man. Like, yeah, it's like an easy bake oven for adults. You can't fuck it up. So my point is like, it's not that it's not that special of a skill, just like mine isn't. Just like that's why I walked away from it 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. Walked away completely because it wasn't a skill worth honing. It wasn't something I was that proud of because it's not that big a deal. I learned enough. I don't need to be, you know what I mean? Joe Robuchon. I'm okay. I don't need to fucking start swindling investors and make rich friends and get them to give me seed money to open a restaurant to make my dreams come true, and then just rip off other chefs who do things before me or try and go and innovate. And then the next thing you know, I'm making fucking, I'm shoving an egg up my ass. Like Wiley Dufresne. Like, what are we doing here? I saw multiple options and none of them were good. Or I'm a fucking angry bitch boy, average run-of-the-mill 75K a year chef. Pissed, burning bridges left and right, burning my marriage, lighting it on fire. Any children we have, lighting that relationship on fire. That's what chefs are. So yeah, I saw that. So maybe look at your industry and don't get mad at me, dude. Like, mechanics. Anyways, let's list the jobs I had. Let's force myself to change subjects here. I'm gonna start. Woo! All right, let's start in the beginning. These are not listed in order. I'm going to try and find them in order. All right, we'll go to the beginning. So 15 was Tio Alfred. I was working for my uncle Alfred, or my stepdad's uncle. I was just like doing general labor for him, looking for ways to be lazy. They were shoving me up in attics, and I was cleaning up work sites and at an electrical company, like a contractor, a general contractor. Did that for a little while. She was whack. My uncle bought a bike shop in my hometown. Worked there for, honestly, probably a few weeks. Can't even count it. So I think those are the summer I turned 14 or 15. And then I got a work permit. In California, you get a work permit at 15. And I worked at Regal Cinemas for about a year. And that was the first place. I remember I got my first blowjob there. Yeah, that was wild. She just was like, we went in the theater. She just dropped to it. It was insane. It was like a movie. In the movies. At the movies, watching a movie. I was watching Walk the Line. That's what was played in the theaters at the time. So you look at the timeline. How long ago was that? When Walk the Line was in theaters. I learned, there's some crazy shit there. Yeah, that was wild. I'm just thinking of that now. I remember I caught two lesbians one time. I walked in the movie theater, and me and this dude, this fucking the tallest dude at that point in my life I'd ever met. I think he was like 6'7", 6'8". This big gay black kid. I think he was the same age as me. He just went to Deer Valley High, but he was huge, fucking huge. Fucking beanpole, but fucking just tall as fuck. I remember me and him walked in the theater, and you just hear like the, all the shit, and you're just like, what the fuck? So you look at the screen. I don't know. You're like, oh, is the movie still going? Like, damn, son, there's a sex scene in this movie I didn't know about. And you're like, no, the lights are on, the screen's fucking running the local ads, and the trivia in the corner, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then you look up, and you see the back of, well, obviously a girl, but she had short hair, like the Ellen hair, but brown. And she's facing what would be she's in the top row, furthest from us, facing the projector, so the wall, facing the back wall, and she's got her head leaned back, looking up the ceiling, and she's just like, and we're like, oh shit, and we just start walking away, and we're both kind of looking, and he starts walking away because he's gay and he didn't care, and I'm like, looking, and because I'm 15, so I'm looking, and what does he do? Oh, his mic. That's what it was. Okay, his walkie. Okay, I don't know if you ever use a walkie, but when you have if you have a walkie-talkie at your job, even if you're not using it, and someone on the channel uses it before they speak, it goes beep or beep beep, and his walkie went beep beep because someone on the other line is talking. And the bitch whipped. So as we're leaving, I'm passing the little ledge, and her head whips around, and she's like, "Oh shit!" And we're like, "Oh!" And then we like go outside, and we wait in the hall, and then they come out, and they're embarrassed as fuck. It's a curly haired like Hispanic girl, a Latinx, and the black chick with short hair. And she's hiding her face. Like, she's hiding her face. And the girl who was doing the eating out, obviously, because I didn't see her the first time, she's just, like, owning it. She didn't give a fuck. And they walk out. And so we laugh. And we're like, yo. We're, like, telling people, like, pointing, like, those people walking through the lobby, they're right there. That couple right there. That couple, we just got them eating each other out. What the fuck? We just got them fucking. So we tell everybody. And everyone's like, oh, shit. And then they do the walk of shame through the fucking lobby. And everyone knew, because I'm sure he got on the mic, or maybe he got on the walkie, or I got on the walkie. I don't remember, but people knew, and everyone was like, And then get this shit. We find a cell phone. We go into the thing. Then we go into the theater, and I'm cleaning, and I go up to where where I make it up to their aisle, the top row. And I'm like, damn, is it going to be like a big wet scene? Because I'm 15. I'm like, is it going to be like a puddle? How does this work? And then it's just a cell phone. There's just a Nokia, the one you could play Snake on, like a brick cell phone. And so that's sitting there. And I take it to the desk. And as I'm taking it to the desk, the curly-haired chick walks in. And she's like, did we leave a cell phone? I was like, yep. And then my manager, as I'm walking away, he didn't believe it was theirs. Probably racist, because like I said, she was Hispanic. The other one was black. He didn't believe it was hers. And so he starts asking her questions, like looking through the phone and asking her questions. And so she calls the girl who was embarrassed the first time, the girl with short hair, to come in and answer the questions, because whatever the question he asked, she didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, what's the name? What's this number? Or I don't fucking know how he was verifying the identity here. But he makes the other girl walk in, and we're all like, oh shit. And then she confirms it, and they get it, and she's like, can I have my phone, please? And he's like, okay. And he hands it to her, and they walk out, and she's like, fuck all of you. Because we're all like, man, to be young again. The walk of shame. She had to do 2 walk of shames through a lobby full of people that knew what she was doing. And you know what's funny? The one who was eating pussy was not ashamed whatsoever. The one who got her pussy ate was so embarrassed and kept covering her face, and she was the one who yelled. Anyways, so Rico, so I'm up to how many? 1, 2, 3. Cool. I'll mark them off as I go. 1, 2, 3. All right, where'd I work next after that? After this, okay, so this so Regal Cinemas, this is my first real job other than working for family. So I go put in my 2-week notice because I'm over it. I decide I'm retiring. I'm 16 now. I want to be, I want to go have a senior year. Because I was a 16-year-old senior. So I was like, all right, how do I quit? So I asked somebody and they go, you just give us a 2-week notice. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I asked the lead that, and he goes, you just put in a 2-week notice. I go, okay, cool. And so I go up to the front desk to the same guy, I forget his name, Asian guy, who was verifying the Nokia. He didn't believe it was hers. And I'm like, hey, man, can I have a piece of paper? And a pen, and he gives me a piece of paper and a pen. And so the guy up at the register has just told me, I was like, how do I quit, man? How do I give notice? He's like, you just give us a 2-week notice. And I'm like, all right. And so in my head, notice means paper. So I go to the front desk, I ask the guy for a pen and paper, and I write, to whom it may concern, because I don't know if it's him, the general manager, Mr. Regal of Regal Cinemas. I don't know who do I address this to. So I just put, to whom it may concern, this is my 2 weeks notice. And I put, my name, Darn Smith. And I'd fold it. And I fold it up nice. And then I go, here you go, man. This is my 2-week notice. He just goes, okay. That's all he said was, okay. And I was like, okay, cool. So, yeah. So 2 more weeks, and then that'll be it. And he goes, okay. I walked away. Oh, man. I thought it was far more serious than that. I made $6. I'm going to write it down. $6.75 an hour at this job in the year 2004. 03 to 04. $6.75, baby. And I don't think minimum wage federally is much more than that. Maybe like $1.50 more. So it took a year. Okay, so after this, I didn't work. Okay, I worked the rest of high school because I was like, I'm going to enjoy my childhood. My family threatens to kick me out every day. You people are going to force me to go to work. This is fucking crazy. I'm going to soak it up while I can. And I did for the last year and a half. And then after that, that's when we get into, I would be Ashley Furniture as I walk in here. And so... yeah, this is senior year. I just graduated high school. And they told me, you have to get a job. If you don't get a job by the time Joey goes back to school, your little brother, which is, 6 weeks, pretty much you have a summer to get a job. You have 6 weeks to find something to do. Otherwise, you're out on the street. And so I blew it off for at least a month, just swimming in my friend's pool, going fishing, going to the city, fucking off, getting high, smoking cigarettes, driving up Fish Ranch Road, talking shit, driving across the Bay Bridge. I think Kanye West had put out a new album that year. Talib Kweli had put out a new album that year. We was chilling. Oh man, I was chilling. Yeah, I was chilling. So chilled for a month, and then I had to go find a job, and I found a job at Ashley Furniture, and I just walked in. It was a furniture store, and I asked the guy, I was like, hey man, are you guys hiring? Like, I'm 18 now, so I just got my driver's license. So I literally just got my driver's license. And I'm 18, so I'd fucked off all summer. I definitely pushed it way beyond their time limit. And now it was time to get a job. But I go in there, and this guy, I swear to God, I go in and I ask, the lady up front if they're hiring, and she points me to the guy in the back. It's just a desk in the back of this fucking stupid furniture store in a strip mall, next to a Taco Bell, next to a place called Uncle Wong's. 1 second. Whew. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just in a strip mall. It's just a stupid room in a strip mall with fucking couches in it. Oh God. That's like Christine Baskets. Anytime that something happens, she's like, "Oh my God." So funny. R.I.P. Louis Anderson. Yeah. Walk to the back of the room. She tells me to go talk to the guy. It's just a dude at a desk. I walk back there and go, "Hey man, I'm just looking if you're hiring. I got a driver's license. I just graduated high school. Blah, 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 blah. Here's a little spiel. I don't have a resume." Or maybe I did. Maybe I had a resume. A little Word document printed out. I worked at Regal Cinemas. And I give it to him, and he goes, "You know what?" And he looks at me, he's talking to me, and he just goes, "You know what? You're hired. I like you." And he goes, "Wait right here." And he goes, and then he goes in the back, and he goes, "You got a few minutes? You got a few minutes to hang around?" After coming out of the back. And I'm like, "Yeah, man. I'll just hang around." And then so he's like, find a couch and go just take a seat." And then so I literally go sit down at a couch, and I'm just sitting there, probably playing Snake on my phone or some stupid shit. And then the door opens and people come in the back, like it's 2 guys, a girl. And then he goes, "All right, Donnie," or whoever the fuck it is. He looked like a Donnie. He was a fat guy, probably in his late 20s with like, sandy blonde hair, chubby dude in like a tank top and like shorts. And he's like, "All right, man, I got your replacement. You're fucking done." And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" And he just goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I hired your replacement. You're good. You can fucking leave." And it's just like, so I just walked into a bunch of shit, and they start fucking going off on each other. And he goes, "Who, this fucking guy? Who the fuck are you? You gotta come in here and take my job." And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then he gets in front of him and is like, "No, I'm fucking firing you." And then it's just, oh man. So I walk into a shit show. Apparently this guy was on thin ice. He was looking for an excuse to fire him, just needed a replacement. And I walk in, and being an idiot kid, 17 years old, I'm like 18 years old, whatever. Barely. I'm just like, all right. And so now I just work there. I take the job. He literally hands me the keys, and I go with this other dude to do one last trip. And he's like, "Hey, can you, he's like, okay, clock in right now. Like, run a trip with this guy. He'll show you how to drive the truck. And I'll pay you, $10 an hour. Like, come back, I'll give you $20. Like, and then you start tomorrow." And so, walked into that shit show. Didn't work there long. Probably worked there, through the summer. By the time it got cold, I was gone. Yeah, it's exactly what happened. So, I worked there for a little while. And then my mom, I hated it. Moving furniture with, like, what the fuck? With, like, tweakers and felons and shit. So you drive this little box truck around, getting mattresses out of a storage unit and, like, delivering them, and try not to fuck up people's houses. That was the worst part, is you're going into rich people's houses or nice houses and try not to fuck their shit up. So that was the hardest part. Doing that. Didn't like it, so I quit or got fired. Probably quit. Don't really remember how I left that job. You'd think I'd be knocking some memories loose here, but I don't remember. I quit so many jobs and got fired from so many jobs that hopefully we'll go through. Okay, so the next one, I'm on job number 1, 2, 3, 4, so Ashley Furniture. Now I went to 2 jobs at the same time pretty much. So Winco, There's a grocery store, and I worked here, and simultaneously I did part-time pressure washing at nights. Like 2 or 3 nights a week, I'd go to Walnut Creek, Concord, couple in Brentwood, just random parking lots throughout the area, and just spray the shit down. Pretty cool, chill job. I remember the guy I did it with. It was this old tweaker guy, and he would smoke Swisher Sweets with no weed in them, and it blew me away. I didn't understand it. I'd never seen that in my life. That's where I started smoking Black and Milds, I think, too. So I did pressure washing at night a few nights a week before I jackknifed the truck. Oh, shit. It was my mom's friend. My mom's, like, childhood friend. Got me. He owned the company, and I jackknifed his work truck with the pressure washer on the back. Because I was a fucking idiot. I was 18. I shouldn't have been driving it. And then I worked. My older brother worked a couple days with us, too. And I remember, oh, man, I did him dirty. He had another job too. Obviously, it wasn't a full-time job, but he had a lot more money than me. He was older than me. And on the last job, after I jackknifed the truck, after we got fired, I didn't go pick up our payment. And then he reached out and was like, "Hey, I still have your guys' last, And I went over there and got it. And it was like, I don't know, a couple days for me, so 100 for me, and then like 60 for my brother. And I just kept it." Oh, man. What are you going to do? All right, well, I'm going to pause this right here and finish this off.